Black Desert begins Russian localization. Hawken shifts to using Steam. Transformers universe transforms into a MOTA, and Dogs of War emerges into open beta. These stories and more on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Abyss recently pleasantly surprised Russian fans in an interview with Goha.ru about their upcoming MMORPG Black Desert by announcing that an adaptation of the game will be ready much earlier for Russian gamers. The news may come as a bit bittersweet for those waiting to play in the West, since it shows a promise of developmental progress, but also makes it appear that much further away from a Western release. A localization for the Russian platform is currently in development process, and with the help of a non-disclosed Russian publisher, should be out relatively soon. When asked about how they came to decide upon the publishing company, the company said, "The most important factor for us was the publisher's experience on the Russian MMO market, and how well is he familiar with the Russian users. Considering these factors, we are fully satisfied with our choice." Pearl Abyss has yet to find a suitable Western publisher for Black Desert. Steam acquired another free-to-play game for their arsenal this week, as Adhesive Games announced that Hawken will be switching completely to Steam's platform. The transition is expected to make the game more functional and accessible, therefore building a broader audience. During the transition, Hawken players should expect the game to be down and unavailable. As we continue to focus on a full release in 2014, expanding our reach is a major priority for us, said Adhesive Games. We are bringing live services down to begin our transition to Steam. This is quite a major shift for us, so the process will not be instantaneous. As of now, Adhesive Games has disabled account creation until the process is complete, which is projected to take place sometime this month. If there's one thing SOE's president John Smedley likes to do, it's dropping vast amounts of tantalizing and sometimes cryptic update tidbits through Twitter concerning all the developers' latest endeavors. And this time, Smedley could barely wait a whole day before informing everyone that SOE had just decided to move Planetside 2 to 64-bit completely. 64-bit operating systems have been in widespread use for quite some time now, but many programs still run in 32-bit. However, when it comes to gaming, it seems as though the era of 32-bit is perhaps finally coming to a close. According to a Steam hardware survey taken this January, 78% of Steam users utilize a 64-bit operating system. SOE President John Smedley reaffirmed this conclusion when he later revealed only 6% of Planetside 2 players were actually playing on a 32-bit operating system. When asked whether the move to 64-bit would increase Planetside 2's performance, Smedley replied by stating that since 64-bit allows you to use more memory, in theory it would perform better, although Smedley did not want to promise anything until the team had tested the changes. However, this didn't stop him from later saying it would actually fix the MMO FPS #1 crash, caused by the game running out of usable memory. No word as to when SOE plans to drop 32-bit support officially, but if you enjoy Planetside 2 but don't have a 64-bit OS, it may be time to upgrade, and soon. It seems as though Transformers universe has transformed into something new entirely. What was once supposed to be a browser-based MMORPG developed by Jagex has now reversed its door panels and shifted its hardtop to reveal a brand new face altogether. In a forum announcement by Mark Gerard, CEO and CTO of Jagex, Gerard revealed the project had evolved over 2013 and was now set to launch this summer not as an MMO, but as a massively online tactical action game, or MOTA. While many might argue Jagex's MOTA may as well be a MOBA, Gerard says players will play as commanders, each commanding a squad of their own faction-specific AI bots into battle. These bots aren't also simply nameless drones with a death wish like in other arena-style games. The squad of bots all have access to their own customization options and specialties. In the end, Transformers Universe is set to offer fast-paced, battle-centric tactical action with several game modes to choose from. Players can still sign up for the beta, and as Jagex prepares for its summer release, the studio will begin ramping up both their communication efforts and beta invites. Cyanide Studios announced last week their free-to-play turn-based strategy project Dogs of War has now entered its open beta phase. DAO features gameplay structured around the fantasy miniature wargame Confrontation from Rackham Entertainment. With classic board game style tactics, players choose from 3 unique factions to build their armies and take turns marching against one another across the battlefield. There are many unexpected factors the player will encounter with his own personal army, such as low morale, desertion, and theft amongst his soldiers. There's plenty to look after even between battles. To join the confrontation, head over to Steam where you can download Dogs of War now. And the game of the week is Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft. In this CCG standoff within the Warcraft universe, players match assorted decks of heroes from warlocks to paladins in an epic battle of classic card strategy. Players begin with 3 to 4 cards drawn from a deck of 30, gaining more mana with each round to harness their more expensive units and pull off creative card combos. Players may engage against AI opponents, play against real players in both unranked and ranked PvP matches, or even compete in arena games where players build decks from random cards and face off against others in a bid to see who can craft the better deck. Although commanding your hero is a conquest all to its own, Hearthstone is highly dependent on board control, making minions a huge priority as well as counters to all of your opponent's offenses. Players start out with basic decks, but unlock class-specific cards as they level up each of Hearthstone's 9 unique classes, making their arsenal of cards a little more powerful and opening up even more strategic opportunities. With a random draw before every game, no 2 games will ever yield the same results. With intuitive mechanics, snappy animations, a variety of playstyles, and dozens of cards, Hearthstone is sure to appeal to those looking for a solid and slick CCG. Hearthstone is currently available on PC and Mac with support for iOS and Android devices coming soon. That is going to be all on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below. And be sure to head over to MMOBomb.com for more free-to-play action. Until next time, Natsumii out.